Yeah. Okay. God damn it!
Because you get it. That's the floor. You're flipping the panels of the floor,
fucking.
And it makes a sound like. That's how it works.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys, to another Power Trip Gaming Retrospective.
We're doing Mendel Palace.
We're doing Mendel Palace. Where get this. You flip the floor.
You flip floors.
You
change colors or something.
That's right.
No, what did they do? It didn't change colors. It did.
No, it put like symbols on the floor.
What did you have to do in that game?
I think. Oh, you had to flip the floor panels to kill the enemies and stuff.
That's what it was. Yes, it had nothing to do with color.
Absolutely not.
It was just about killing people.
Nope, it really was.
In dreams.
In dreams.
Mendel Palace, man. Game. What was this again?
13.
13.
Wow.
Unlucky 13. Holy shit, dude. This game's got me all sorts of messed up.
Yes, it does.
This game was messed up.
But this game came out in 1990, and it was I would say an action puzzle game. It had puzzle elements, but it was more action based. But it really wasn't full on action. So it's
enemies
really hard to classify it.
Enemies would hop panel to panel. Well, they had a bunch of
different kinds of varieties.
But you would scoot the floor tile and push them.
Mm-hmm.
You had to push them into walls to kill them.
Yep.
I mean, it was weird.
It really was.
There really was no classification for this.
It's action puzzle.
I guess
is the best that we can do. But fun little fact though is that this game was developed by Game Freak.
Game Freak.
Same.
Boom! Gotcha, bitch! Pokemon!
That's it.
This was their humble beginning.
This was literally their first development project, Game Freak, and it was published by Hudson Soft.
Good old Hudson Soft. Thank you for Adventure Island, you fucking dicks.
But yeah, the guy who actually directed and designed it from the Game Freak side was Satoshi Tajiri, who actually went on to do Pokemon games.
Holy crap!
One of the lead artists of this game was Ken Sugimura, who did a lot of the artwork for the Pokemon games too, especially in the beginning. If you're familiar with the trading card game, the very first series that ever came out, the base set, a lot of that art was Ken Sugimura.
So if you're a fan of Pokemon, man, pick this damn game up.
Honestly, it is fun. It will remind you a lot of like a Pokemon, like the characters, way. Some of the sprite, the sprite. Details and stuff. It really is like Pokemon.
Now that I think about it, the sprites from Pokemon, even though that was Game Boy, there is an odd similarity between the characters here and in Pokemon.
Like Hitchhiker in the Hitchhiker design, like the big fat guys. Like there are enemies in the game that look like the Hitchhikers.
This game's crazy, man.
Well,
so, fuck.
I mean, it's just it's really really cool. Really cool that Game Freak kind of came full circle like that.
And now they are probably one of the biggest powerhouses.
Probably.
Thanks to Pokemon.
Yep.
I mean, holy crap,
that's all they need
dude.
is Pokemon, so.
I mean, Pokemon sells systems.
Yes, it does. So.
Shit.
But anyways, moving on. So, talking about difficulty. What do you give this game for difficulty?
This one's really hard to do difficulty for. This game is long as fuck.
That it is.
This game is long as fuck.
It is long.
And we found that out when it froze halfway through.
Yep.
And I think that was my fault, actually.
Yes, it was.
But, I mean, I almost feel like a lot of the difficulty comes from how long this game is.
It drains on you. I think the longer you play it, the more difficult the game seems. And it's because even though the learning curve of the game is actually, I think it's very appropriate.
It's quick.
It's very, well, each level that you get into, it really builds on the difficulty and really gets you to understand, like, what it is that you're going to be doing,
how these enemies
have to do,
function,
how they function. So it's a really good learning curve.
How many different bosses were there?
I think there was literally like 10. There was nine different stages.
Oh, and then the final.
And then the final. And then
the final. Really 9?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Mm-hmm. And each one of those, I think, was 10 floors.
Yes, at least, yeah.
So it started out very simple, from what I remember. The first part of each stage would be, and you could pick any stage you wanted. You pretty much go around the board, look at who the boss is, and then you choose their stage. Mm-hmm. And then enemies are kind of fitting of that theme. But it starts simple. I mean, each level definitely illustrates well of how, like, progressive difficulty should be. Mm-hmm. It's very slow, very easy, like maybe 1 or 2 enemies, you see what they do, and then the next level is the same thing, same kind of concept, but then they'll throw in a different kind of tile at you that does different stuff, like the swimmer guys I remember would go in one, come out the other. It was very cool.
Yeah.
But it was very, very well done for what it was.
It honestly was. But as far as difficulty goes...
Oh, yeah, I kind of alluded to the question.
Yes, you did. So as far as difficulty goes, though, what my opinion of this would be is that I would give this one a 5. I would say it's middle of the road.
Really?
I would say it's middle of the road.
Really?
First time I ever played this game, I mean, granted it took me like 3 hours, but I ended up beating it. First time I ever played it. First time I ever played it.
I was going to shoot for a 7.
I would
This
never.
game's hard as hell.
I would never go that far. Maybe a 6.
One
Maybe
player,
a 6.
this game is brutal.
One player, the game is brutal. However, though,
2 player does make
it's because, and doesn't it have a password feature?
No.
There's no password feature, so you literally do have to. Okay.
Remember when we
And
restarted, we had to restart.
That's right, and it was you have unlimited continues, but there's no. That's right. There's no password. So, I would bump it up to a 6 then, because if there was some kind of password function or save feature, it would have made it a heck of a lot easier to just kind of deal with. But because you literally had to beat this game in one go through, I would give it a 6.
This game is, like I said, it's just so draining, because some of those levels, if you remember, they were hard. Like, I remember we struggled a lot on certain stages where we just
later
dead
in the
stop
game.
on progress.
Later in the game. However, we would make a dead stop, but then within like 5 or 10 minutes, we would start making progress again. So I mean, it's another one of those games where it's just you. The more you defeat yourself, the harder the game is going to become. It's not like a Bomberman situation where you literally lose power-ups, or if you die late in the game, then you may as well just start over. It's nothing like that.
No, you're right.
It's just you can continue to make progress, but it may be harder to make progress at times than other times.
That's true. I'm still going to stick with 7. This game's hard as shit.
That's fine.
I mean, to me, the length, it makes it. It was so fucking, like, arduous to get through it.
It was a long game.
Mainly because I think I was annoyed with you and grabbing those goddamn tiles that shifted everything all the time, and then you couldn't help yourself and you grabbed them all the time, even though we were trying not to. No, by all means.
Confession to make.
You did it on purpose, you son of a bitch.
I could have stopped. I just chose not to.
You're an addict. You were a tile addict.
I was.
And you sound like one.
And I
could have stopped at any time.
I could have stopped at any time. But it was really pissing you off. And I think that this game was actually one of the very first ones that really kind of tested our mettle as a teamwork, or as a team.
And we failed.
And I think we were actually each getting on each other's nerves for this game.
Yeah. I would say more so than Kickmaster did.
Yeah. And so you getting upset just really made me want to do it more.
But to be honest, that's the dynamic we like.
But that's the dynamic that works. So and we ended up beating the game.
And we did, and it was a very satisfying win.
Yes, it was.
You're right. A 6 feels appropriate. I'll lower it to a 6. You're right. The game really was not...
I mean, it was... Don't get me wrong. There are difficult points in this game.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult at times, but overall, I would say that it's above that average mark, though, but it's not too high above it.
No.
It's going to be draining on you to have to sit through an entire game, like the 2 hours that it takes to play this game. Even if you could speedrun this stuff, I can't see anybody beating it in less than an hour.
I feel 2 hours would be generous. Anyone picking this up for the first time...
3 to 4 hours.
Yeah,
at least.
I would say at least
between 3 and 4 hours.
Even if you knew what you were doing. Like, even if you pick it up quick. Yeah. Every stage presents new challenges. And, I mean...
That's building on one another, yep.
Yeah, the stages start easy, but man, do they get tough. The swimmers, I remember, gave us the hardest time.
I remember that, yeah.
So, yeah, the 6 feels appropriate. High 6.
High 6. I agree. Yeah. I agree.
All right, man.
So, as far as the fun goes, how much fun did you have at this game?
If it wasn't for you... No, actually, I had a good time with it. I would probably echo the same thing.
I did too.
High 6, maybe a low 7.
I would agree with the 6. I would say I had a really good time because the game is, even though it's really long and difficult. I mean, the controls, there may have been some points where actually it was difficult because of the grid that you walk on while you're moving.
The tile that you move is based on where you are.
Yeah.
So when you hit some of the seams, you're never quite sure which tile you're going to shift, and that's bitten us in the ass a few times.
It did actually. So that
made
the
it
graphics
a little more difficult.
the controls may not have been the tightest, but each level is just, it really feels like a unique, different area, from the ballerina enemies to the swimmers to the big.
To the drawers.
The big fat guys to the drawers. I mean, there was such a...
Sketchers, I guess would be the word.
Yeah, Sketchers. But still, there was such a good variety and unique, and just the style of the game is something that really is not... I don't think there's ever been anything like it, and there's really nothing that's been... It hasn't been copied at any point.
No, it's very original. I can't think of a game
it's
that's
extremely original, so I mean, you're going to have a good time with it.
Absolutely.
And the music, from what I can remember, the music was great. I ended up really liking the music, and a little bit of that might be my biasness, because it really does feel a lot like Pokemon. Like, it was the same kind of general music, where it's just, I felt like I was playing a Pokemon game, which funny, because this game came out 6 or 7 years before Pokemon was even around.
Wait, when did this come out?
Well, it was released in Japan in 1989, and it came out in America in 1990.
I thought Pokemon was 92 or 93.
No.
You sure?
Pokemon in Japan was 1996.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Hmm.
Yeah.
God, it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah, they just recently had their 20th anniversary. Yeah.
Boy, I feel old now.
I know, don't you?
God,
So.
I still remember picking up Pokemon for the first time and just being blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when Gold came out, and I was stunned how the graphics were. And now you look at it, and you're like, this is shit. But
do you remember how you felt when Mendel Palace came out?
Honestly, this is one of those games that must have flown under the radar for me.
This is actually one of those games that I never would have even noticed it as a kid. The name of the game really just doesn't grip you.
It doesn't make. I mean, it made sense, but it's one of those that it's not like Legend of Zelda.
And even playing it as a kid, I don't think I would have understood it or fully appreciated the game back then. So I'm glad I never played this game as a kid, because it probably would have colored my perceptions of it differently. Where I may have grown up thinking, oh yeah, that game is crap, and then I, as an adult, would never have wanted to put in the time to it, because I'm like, oh yeah, I know that game is crap.
I feel like I saw an ad for it in one of the Nintendo Powers. It was just those one-page ads.
Oh, maybe.
Feel like I remember seeing the girl with the gum and the big Bubba guy. I feel like I remember seeing them, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it's one of those. I know it was never a cover. I don't think it's ever been covered.
I don't think so either.
So I mean, it was one of those where it's it was so obscure.
It just kind of came and went. And
Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu was another one.
Yeah.
Another gem.
Ironically, another Hudson Soft.
Yes. I feel like they had a lot of games that were underdogs.
Yeah, they really did. So.
Huh.
But, yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
But moving on to price. Is it worth it?
What did we pay for it, buddy?
This game, I remember actually paying, I paid $4.99 for this game at a flea market, actually.
Oh,
I ended up finding this game at a local flea market called 7 Mile Fair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was $4.99. And,
not bad.
Yeah. But the game on price charting right now is $12.99. So rounding up, you've got about $13.
13.
You don't have to give me a penny either. So
son of a bitch.
Yeah, so it's $12.99.
$13.
$13. Is it worth it?
I feel, for the length of the game, for the fun of the game, for the challenge, I would pay the price this game goes for complete.
Serious?
$36 to $38.
$36.99, huh?
That feels more appropriate.
Even just for the cart?
Just for the cart.
Wow.
You get so much for this game. The length, the difficulty, the fun of it, I feel is worth about $38. About what, I mean, Contra is what, 27, 28, like we said?
27.
And that was worth it.
Honestly,
I feel this is probably on that same echelon.
Honestly, that's a good point, is that even if this game was, if it went for about $25, I would still say it's worth it. Honestly, you kind of echoed my sentiments too, is that for the quality of the game that you get, the uniqueness of it,
Absolutely.
the puzzle elements, yet the action aspects of it, the music, just the length of the game, you really get some bang for your buck, because this is a long game.
The only thing that would turn people off is the fact that you turn it off, you got to start over.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And some of the like there was, but
some of the levels too are just I mean they really take some practice and just kind of really strong determination to get past, so that could kind of turn people away. But honestly, at $13, if you find this game, this is one of those games that why I'm so glad that we started this in the first place.
Absolutely.
To actually start to play through games and to try to play through them to completion, because you find these kinds of games, these are diamonds in the rough. I think that Mendel Palace is a diamond in the rough.
Absolutely.
It's such a great game, such a unique aspect that you will never see in any other game on the Nintendo.
I would say you wouldn't even see it again.
No. And honestly, and people just really don't, like, this is not one of those go-to games. So, spread the word. Like, this game is actually really fun. It's a great game, and this is what this channel was all about.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that we found this game.
Finding these titles like this, I mean, we always mention it. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu is another surprisingly really good game.
It really was.
What was another one that we really... Gunnak was another...
Gunnak, yeah.
It's a super enjoyable shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you really don't hear too much about Gunnak.
No.
So, I mean, that's the whole idea, is just trying to find those games that nobody talks about and just see if somebody else would enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Mendel Palace. Holy shit.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you like action games and puzzle games, it's definitely for you. Even if you're just a casual gamer, I think that this game is one that you will actually pick up and you'll actually enjoy it. I think it's good for too. I think it's good for anybody who, like, any genre of game that you love. I think to a degree, I think this one really just kind of hits a niche in each one of those.
Power Trip recommended.
Absolutely, it is Power Trip recommended.
Bam.
Done.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
What was it? 7 for fun? No, 6
and 6.
6 and 6.
6 and 6.
Oh, fuck. Sixlets.
Sixlets.
Oh, those are gross.
I know you don't like them.
I don't.
Anyway, so hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Twitter, go to powertripgaming.tv and take you right to our channel where you can watch all of our other videos, including the playthrough that we did of Mendel Palace. And we've got a link in the description below, so go ahead and check it out.
Watch me get pissy with Paul.
He did get really pissy.
I was pretty heated.
And I am to blame for a lot of it.
I thought you were going to say you were ashamed of it.
No, hell no, I'm not ashamed of it.
You son of a bitch, you should be.
I did it the first time. I don't deny it, and I don't regret it, and I would do it again.
Paul,
if given a chance.
You're a bastard. All right, I never do anything constantly on purpose that annoys you.
Yes, you do.
Never.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Next time on Power Trip Gaming Retrospective,
we will review something better.
Boom! Nailed it!
Yes!
Push you into the wall.
Pow!
God damn it.
Bookatoo, bookatoo. Bookatoo, bookatoo. Bookatoo, bookatoo. Bookatoo, bookatoo.